So today I open up my YouTube app as I usually do and start perusing the app, especially the gaming space. And I see a bunch of videos talking about Sony and live service games because apparently Horizon Hunter Gatherers or whatever it's called is not playtesting well behind the scenes. So they're going to be retooling the game or something. And a lot of people out there are talking about how Sony just doesn't do live service games very well, and rightfully so. It's an interesting topic for sure. But I think there's a bigger discussion to be had because I think they have more problems with their single player games, their big cinematic AAA games to be more exact. I think a lot of studios, Western studios anyway, have problems with this. And I want to get into it today because after seeing that Game Science trailer last night for Wukong Zhang Kui, I think that's how you say it. These are the same guys, by the way, who gave us Wukong the Monkey King just 2 or 3 years ago, which wasn't that long ago. But anyways, this game looked phenomenal. And about halfway through it got me thinking, hold up. I see a stark difference between presentation and dialogue and, how the games are written between the East and the West. And I think I want to talk about this today because I have a lot of passion with this. I think it's one of the reasons why myself, I'm not really feeling a lot of these Western cinematic games anymore. And I used to love these games. You could ask all my friends, they would tell you, oh, those are some of Fonz's favorite games. Not so much anymore. And there's a reason why. And we're going to get into that today. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Welcome back to the channel. If you like the video, by the way, please hit the like button. If you feel like subscribing, please do. If not, thanks for the watch. But getting into this video today, last night, that Game Science trailer, as I said at the start of the video, about halfway through this Game Science trailer, I realized something. I was watching the gameplay. I was paying attention. I was interested in what was happening, even in the quiet parts. And yet, nobody had explained anything about how I was supposed to feel, what the hell was even going on. I didn't have a companion that was needlessly yelling puzzle solutions for me. And I didn't have a protagonist narrating everything I was looking at, like, that giant horrifying monster looks dangerous. As I was watching, I was thinking to myself, how do I understand everything that's going on? How could I possibly get or how allow them to convey an emotion between two characters when there's no dialogue even being said? And this whole 15-minute presentation, which was phenomenal, by the way, got me thinking about one glaring thing that it made this painfully obvious. See, the rest of the AAA space, especially in a lot of Western gaming studios anyway, well, they need to learn one thing, and that is how to shut the hell up, or at least their characters do. So there's this ancient storytelling technique, and some of you out there probably heard about this, probably not if you're a writer on a Western game development studio. Maybe not you, maybe some of you, maybe, but just bear with me. It's called show, don't tell. Or in this case, show, you don't have to tell. Because see, this is something that Game Science last night within that 15-minute presentation kind of showed me, and it's surprisingly simple. You see, as gamers, they showed us what's happening on the screen, and we understood it. I know, crazy, but it happened. They showed us things going on without any dialogue, and we understood it. All right, so take a trip with me right now. Imagine your protagonist is walking through a village. Everything is destroyed. Buildings are burning, bodies everywhere, blood all over the ground. Yeah, we've seen this a million times. Anyways, bear with me. Follow me. The music suddenly stops. Your character, while slowly walking through that, that, devastation. He looks around. He may lower his gun. He may raise it. whatever it may be. His expression changes. That's storytelling. I understand something horrible happened. No need to explain anything else. However, with modern AAA writing, this is probably what would be happening during this walk through the devastation. Oh my God, the village, look, looks like it's been attacked. No shit, what gave it away? The fire, the blood, or the 30 corpses we walked past? Seriously, when did silence become suddenly illegal in a video game? I mean, you open a door, dialogue. Climb a mountain, dialogue. Jump in a pool, dialogue. Stand around for 8 seconds and your companion starts talking to you about his childhood trauma. Jesus Christ, what are we doing in these games? You know, I'm starting to wonder if some of these developers are thinking that some of us as gamers will get bored or something if the companion or your protagonist doesn't talk enough in these games. And for me at least, this couldn't be further from the truth, because sometimes these characters will literally narrate exactly what I'm doing at the time. Like, looks like I can climb that wall over there. Yeah, I know, there's yellow paint all over the damn thing. I mean, it looks like somebody attacked it with a Home Depot paint roller already. You don't have to explain everything. Game developers. Characters don't always develop when their mouths are moving. We don't always need them to talk. I mean, seriously, how somebody walks tells you something. How they fight tells you something. How they react to danger tells you something. How they treat weaker characters, how they treat enemies, how they react to certain things, their confidence, their hesitation, brutality, restraint, all of that. That is character development on its own. We don't need them to be jaw-jacking all the time. But my biggest pet peeve in modern writing for a lot of Western AAA games is the over-explanation of emotions. And what I mean is they have to tell you everything they're feeling. There's no mystery, no interpretation, no subtlety. Imagine they made a Star Wars game and it was written this way. Vader tells Luke, "Luke, I am your father." And that was horrible. Anyways, and Luke says, "I don't know how I feel about this right now. I need to process this." In the movie, we didn't need any kind of explanation of his feelings. We saw it. That's what acting is for. That's what cinematography is for. That's what you just let the scene play out. It just makes no sense how a lot of these games these days just over-explain things. And let's talk about the banter between companions and protagonists. We see a lot of this nowadays with AAA games, especially in the cinematic, third-person action adventure. Why does everybody have to be funny? Why is everybody a jokester? Look, not everybody has to be Nathan Drake. It works for Nathan Drake because that is Nathan Drake. However, this is what I was talking about with Wolverine in my last video. He seems more akin to Nathan Drake in his jokey persona as Logan than he is Logan from the comic books. So I don't like this. Everybody has to be funny. They'll have you'll be fighting a giant monster and you have to say some marvelous quip. Or, you're seeing devastation all around you. The world's crumbling. And then you'll have some character say, "Well, that happened." It needs to stop. And it's always the same thing with these games. It's like you either have a sarcastic protagonist or a really straight-laced protagonist who seems to be just gruff and, the Kratos type. But then you have quirky companion, constant banter, occasional emotional scene, sprinkle on top some childhood trauma, and then back to banter. And eventually every character starts sounding like they're being written by the same freaking person. I'm just saying, let some characters be assholes. Let some characters just be stoic. Let some characters just be who they are, especially if there's already lore written about them, or, they've been in previous franchises and they've had a different demeanor or whatnot. Let it be. You don't have to change every character And you don't have to write so much freaking dialogue in these games to convey any emotion. And this also applies to your personal ideologies. Yes, I'm going there because another problem I sometimes see in modern games is writers wanting to communicate some larger social or political idea, which is completely fine. Lots of games do this. However, these games have plenty to say, like BioShock, Metal Gear, Fallout, Deus Ex, those games. I get some of the ideologies and the political and social stuff within these games. But here's the difference. A theme should come from the world, from the story itself, from the consequences, from those characters within that story, not from somebody turning toward the player and delivering what feels like the writer's Twitter thread. Because when I'm playing these games and I start to hear the writer instead of the character, well, you've lost me. And I know it's going to happen. Somebody out there in the comment section is going to say, great, Fonz just hates dialogue in games now. No, if that's what you get from this video, you're not paying attention. Dialogue is great. I love dialogue-heavy games. Mass Effect, tons of dialogue. Witcher 3, tons. Red Dead 2, the list goes on. But here's the difference. Good dialogue reveals something. Character, conflict, motivation, relationships, information I actually need. Bad dialogue tells me things I already know. Looks like the bridge is down. Yeah, I could see it, fuckface. It's currently in the river. And I think what a lot of these AAA developers need to do is start trusting the player. And ultimately, that's what I took away from Game Science last night with the Jean Quay footage. They're seemingly willing to trust the player. That's becoming one of my favorite things about games coming from developers outside of this Western AAA bubble. They'll show you something weird and basically go, figure it out. What's that weird creature? Don't know. Why is that happening? Don't know. Who's that guy? Don't know. Keep playing. Meanwhile, in the West, they're worried you might misunderstand something for 11 seconds because apparently gamers can't possibly survive temporary confusion. Personally, I love being confused in a game sometimes. I love seeing something and thinking, what the hell was that? That's just curiosity. And that makes me want to continue playing at times to figure shit out. And I'm not saying that every Western game studio is bad. That's not what this video is about. It's not East versus West and West just sucks. A lot of games do these days, but but this is not what it's about because there's been a lot of incredible games that have come out of Western studios. However, this is a trend I've been seeing in the gaming sphere for a while now, especially this generation. It's gotten even worse. And I just wanted to present it to you guys and see how you feel about it because this is how I feel. Anyways, let me know what you guys feel about this in the comments below. And if you like the video, again, hit that like button. If you feel like subscribing, subscribe. If not, cool. Thanks for the watch. But I appreciate you guys for watching this and understanding that this is just one man's opinion. Anyways, until next time, guys, game on.